it be, like I said, a veganism, whether it be just any type of sport or club or anything like that, that person kind of represents that group, and you don't really want someone who's annoying or aggressive to kind of represent what you like or what you believe.
What's up, guys? This is our first podcast episode and welcome to our show.
This is the Annoying Vegans. We are the Annoying Vegans.
How's your 2024 so far?
It's going good. Not too bad. It's a little bit halfway through January and halfway through VEGanuary, as some would say.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that. But yeah, no, not too bad. How about yourself?
Just chilling. Just been busy wintering.
Oh yeah,
Going through the winter motions here.
emotions. A lot of warm foods.
Food, stew, curries, good stuff. Hot cocoa, vegan hot cocoa, of course.
Oh, you gotta say vegan before any
Yeah.
food item to make
Yep.
sure people don't, go in the comments.
They'll be like, I thought you were vegan.
Hot cocoa is not vegan.
And then I'll say vegan hot cocoa then forward, and I'll be like, why do you always have to tell us you're vegan?
Yeah, you have to shove it in our face all the time.
Yeah. But we're actually not here today to talk about annoying non-vegans. We're actually here to talk about annoying vegans.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Yes.
Aren't we? Okay.
Yeah, we are.
So, do you know any annoying vegans in your life, or you come across?
Personally, I do not know any annoying vegans. I try to not associate myself too much with annoying people in general, but I definitely know of some annoying vegans. You always hear. I feel like I hear more about annoying vegans from non-vegans than actually have meeting annoying vegans, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like one of those. You meet one person and they represent the whole group,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, hell yeah, I've met a lot of people of this belief or that belief or what they do, instead of just like judging the group as a whole. But mostly knowing vegans I've seen have been kind of online, so it's I guess I'm very lucky in that respect. But what about you? Any knowing vegans that you know personally or met?
No, I don't get too close to annoying people as well. I purposely make my space void of annoying people as much as possible. But I have seen, I have come across some annoying vegans in some spaces. Like, there's always that one person in the group that's always like super passionate.
Yeah.
There was an instance where we had a mix of vegans and non-vegans at this get-together, and one of the non-vegan folks there was asking about like soy, just innocently asking about soy.
Soy,
Like,
yeah.
are you guys ever worried about you having too much soy? And then one of the vegans that were there was just going on this very passionate rant about, that's a myth, don't listen, that's a lie. Like, it's okay, which, she has a point, but
Yeah.
but it was
she just kind of like was aggressive with it, right?
aggressive, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, and I had a guest who was not a vegan, and I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable being like one of the only non-vegans in this space,
Right.
like an outcast. So for somebody to be like passionate and a little bit aggressive, I was kind of on edge with that person. Like, oh, I hope that they don't feel uncomfortable.
So it was like you met a non-vegan, and the non-vegan it's almost like they're like a bad representation of what you are, and you don't want necessarily that to be kind of what others see about you, right? And it's always one of those things where like when you're a part of a group, or whether it be, like I said, a veganism, whether it be just any type of sport or club or anything like that, that person kind of represents that group, and you don't really want someone who's annoying or aggressive to kind of represent what you like or what you believe in a sense. So yeah, I can definitely see that, and as far as not wanting that person you brought with you to even experience that while you're there, because you're having a safe space. So
yeah.
absolutely.
we need to make veganism fun for the non-vegans. We need to make our spaces enjoyable.
We need to have a PR group for vegans so we can just have great things. They only see the great things, which it is great. I mean, as far as just like being a vegan, it's not like openly and excellently rewarding, but at the end of the day, you feel good about yourself, right? I mean, you feel good that what you're doing is you're impacting the world. So I feel like with these annoying vegans, they almost want to aggressively have everyone feel that about themselves, and it's like, okay, but not everyone's the same. Everyone reacts differently to how you present certain things. So not everybody is, like I used to hear, like, not everybody is a visual learner, or not everybody is like a classroom learner. So it's hard to kind of just fit one form of, some people will call it activism, I guess some people call it, to like force that upon everybody. So and I think that's kind of where things get annoying, is where non-vegans see this or hear someone or just experience that aggressiveness, and they obviously they can't take that in, just because for whatever reason of how they want to learn, or in that instance where you had that annoying vegan, like no one was there at the party to, I'm sure, like just learn about veganism. I'm sure people were interested, but I guess for her or for that person to be so aggressive with it, it might even turn people off from it. So
yeah, I've had I always remember I used to not be a vegan. And when people ask me, like there was another instance somebody asked me, I mean, like, they're not being harmed because you're not eating meat. If you don't eat meat, you're not killing the animal. So what's the big deal about eating like dairy and eggs? And then I remembered that I used to think that way too when I was vegetarian before I became vegan. So I basically, whenever that comes up, like if I'm trying to explain it to somebody, I will never forget that I used to be a non-vegan and what my perspective was. So I said something like along the lines of, yeah, I used to think that I used to view it the exact same way, and then I just happened to do some research on the milk industry and the dairy industry and the egg industry that I came across, and then I changed my mind after seeing that and just seeing like how the animals are treated in those industries.
Right. No, yeah. You learned a lot about that industry, and for me personally, like just like when I was a kid, I was just like, cows, they just produce milk. That's just what they do all the time. And obviously learning about how they female mammals produce milk when they're pregnant, and that whole thing. So it's just like, well, they need to constantly be pregnant, and so learning you learn a lot about kind of what you're supporting in a way, because your dollars do support whatever you're purchasing. So being conscious to that. But yeah, I mean, as far as the extremists on being an annoying vegan, like to me it's like there are these people who have these absolutist ideas, right, that are just it's this way, or you're not vegan, or you're hurting the movement, or it's not helping in any way. So in like one I guess argument I've heard before, it was just like, so veganism is all about reducing harm as much as possible, and obviously it is possible to completely eliminate the meat industry and the dairy industry. So you wouldn't want to I guess it would be like, you wouldn't, like for VEGanuary, for example. So people are like vegan for a month and they can try it out, and hopefully that encourages them to continue going vegan and eating in that lifestyle. But many extremists see it in a way as like, well, you're vegan for 1 month, but you're not vegan for 11 months. And if you truly support the animals and you want them to be free, and we want to have this absolutist idea, it's like, well, you wouldn't support slavery for 11 months and then oppose it for 1 month. So it's just like there's certain ideas on certain ways you can get across or get something across or points across, but especially when you start to like talk about very hot button subjects like slavery or Holocaust or things like that, it again, it goes to my first point where it's just like you're being annoying, and you're being annoying purposely, and you know that not a lot of people respond well to certain words, and you know,
those absolutists have an all or nothing perspective of life. It's just there's never gray area, it's never nuance, it's just black and white. I saw a video once, it was posted by this organization called Jubilee. We can link it in the description so people can check it out. But
for yourself,
it was called "Do All Vegans Think the Same?" And one woman was making a point of, and I forget like what the prompt was, but she said that there are people who live in colder climates that don't have access to a lot of grocery stores or fresh produce even, and it's kind of like a food desert. So it's harder for them to be vegan. And another gentleman responded saying, it's not fair to the animals to have that viewpoint. Like, you know, it's an excuse or something along those lines. And I felt like that was an absolutist perspective. Right. Like, I agree to a certain extent. Like, you can still make it work as much as possible if you don't have access to produce. Like rice and beans, super cheap, super easy to make. Lentils, like all that kind of stuff. You can get it very cheap. So I think people should try, make the best effort they can, like to not to completely discount it and say, no, I can't be vegan at all. Like people can try to make the best effort that they possibly can. Yeah. But they don't have to go 100%. Like they can have meatless Mondays. They can have meals where they incorporate more vegan friendly ingredients as much as possible. It doesn't have to be all 100%. It's better that they do as much, like whether it's one meal or a few meals, it's better they do that than none. It's better that they have meatless Mondays than no meatless days at all. Right. It's better to have 1 month of the year than to have no months of the year for Veganuary.
And it's all about, to me, there's certain ways to, so with veganism, like we think about it and there's like, oh, what's the definition? And the definition can vary if you ask person to person, but overall it's to reduce harm as much as possible when it comes to, the killing, slavery, or killing and exploitation of animals. So that being said, it's like some people are treating the veganism in a way to where it's like almost like a religion, to where they have to convert as many people, and that's where it kind of, to me, where we start to see more annoying vegans come along, was just, at the end of the day, listen, veganism is, in my opinion, like the easiest thing you can do to make the greatest amount of impact on the world. And like there's studies, there's so many things that back it up as far as scientifically and environment and health-wise for your body, biological. There's just so many benefits with being vegan in the first place. So it's like those annoying vegans, they're right, but it's all about having that empathy for humans and your fellow man, your fellow people. So whoever you're talking to is, and that also goes back to like knowing your audience as well. So like if you just come out like the person you were speaking with about soy, like soy's in like 90% of everything we eat. And so so one of the people were asking like, well, isn't soy bad for you? Like they don't really think about, hey, soy was in the cereal I ate earlier this morning, and I had no issue with that. Soy was in, whatever. So
it's in meat because they feed soy to animals.
Right. Like pretty much the crop itself goes to animals. So it's kind of relating it to me, or for me, it's relating it to that person, and kind of not so much being annoying with it, being aggressive with it, but just having that empathy for that person and knowing that we all have this journey differently, regardless of what you're doing. So whether you're vegan or whether you have a different alternative lifestyle or whatever it may be, like there's a certain path that we all have, and to get to that path, we all go different ways and different routes. But to me, like the best way to kind of share veganism or even talk about veganism is to be relatable and to kind of let people know that it can be done and it's not hard at all. So
yeah, let them know how you got to the journey, because we weren't born vegans.
Absolutely.
We do relate to some of their mindset because we used to have the same one. So
yeah.
I just need to say one other thing, like annoying vegans. The most annoying vegan, in my opinion, is the vegan that tries to dictate or how other vegans should be, or like take away your vegan license. Like, give me your vegan card,
Right.
because maybe you accidentally had milk, or you're no longer vegan. And even I've seen people who say, like, if you're a vegan, then you need to be an advocate for every single social issue that's out there. And if you're not out there marching for this cause, then you're not vegan, because vegan means reducing the harm for all living things and all issues and all social issues in this world. And that's not the definition of veganism. Veganism, by definition, is purposely not using any animal products or putting animal products in your diet. But people will make up these definitions because it fits their opinions, and then they want to take away other people's vegan license.
Right.
As a result. And that's annoying.
Yeah. Annoying vegans, right?
Annoying vegans can be annoying. They don't have to be just annoying to non-vegans.
Yeah,
They can be annoying to other vegans
yeah,
too.
we're annoyed too, y'all. So it's not just y'all. So we're right there with y'all.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's a good dropping off point for us on our first episode here.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you have encountered any annoying vegans in your life. And by the way, we do not want you or anybody to receive hate. Like, we're talking about frustrations that we come across, but that doesn't mean that people should espouse any negativity to the annoying vegans that they come across. Like, yes, people can be annoying, but that doesn't mean that people should send them hate comments or anything. Just don't be the person that you don't like. Don't be the person that is causing you frustration.
Right. 2 wrongs don't make it right?
There we go. All right. Thank y'all for listening, and I hope to see y'all on the next one. Take care.